Tigray Military has struck a secret military deal involving two neighboring countries, reportedly. Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. Good to be with you. Interesting developments in the Horn of Africa involving Tigray, an Ethiopian region, and two neighboring countries. It seems that everyone is focused on enhancing military capabilities, armed groups, government in power, militaries. Everyone just wants to buy more weapons, conduct more recruitments, as if war is the only solution, which is not, by the way. Whenever countries, militaries strike suspicious deals, they never acknowledge publicly. They never sign agreements, or if agreements are signed, agreements are kept very confidential. So generally, you monitor the developments on the ground, and then you draw conclusions based on situation on the ground. Tigray military has reportedly struck a deal with two neighboring countries. People would say that if we say that Tigray military has struck a deal with Eritrea, perhaps that won't be surprising, but Tigray military has struck a deal with two neighboring countries. How can you explain that? Which two neighboring countries? I'm talking about neighboring countries. Well, it seems that yes, two neighboring countries are involved in this deal with Tigray. Egypt is not part of the deal. It's directly not part of the deal. Indirectly, it could be involved. Egypt is not a neighboring country, by the way. Reportedly, Tigray military, and when I say Tigray military, I mean TPLF too, because TPLF and Tigray military are two sides of the same coin. Top tiers of Tigray military, top tiers of TPLF, they're the same. The deal has three players, reportedly. Tigray ruling elite, Eritrean government or Eritrean military, and one group in Sudan. That is Al-Burhan-led Sudanese government or Sudanese military. There are two groups in Sudan now. One is led by RSF, Rapid Support Force Chief Hamdan Dagalo, backed by UAE. Ethiopia supports UAE too. The other group is led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. Recognized group is the one led by Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. Eritrea supports al-Burhan. Egypt also supports al-Burhan. In a video yesterday, I told you about allegations leveled by an Israeli news source accusing Iran of being part of al-Burhan Eritrea alliance. So Israel on the other side of the alliance with UAE, Ethiopia. Sudanese military is getting weapons. Procurement of weapons is no problem for Sudanese military in the ongoing war. For around 2 years, a war has been ongoing in Sudan between RSF and Sudanese military. RSF is being supplied with weapons by UAE. Sudanese military is buying weapons from Turkey, from Russia, from Egypt. So weapon procurement, no problem for Sudanese military. Manpower could be a problem, keeping in view that Sudanese military is being supported by several tribal leaders. These tribal elders have their own militias, and Sudanese military has to work with them. On the other hand, RSF is largely on its own, though some tribal elders supporting RSF, but RSF is more united, I believe. It means that Sudan's military is in need of manpower. Tigray's Army 70 is being organized in Sudan. And it is being said that this Tigray Army 70 soldiers are fighting on Al Burhan side against RSF. Now, what is being reported is that Al Burhan is ready to give weapons to Tigray military in exchange of getting soldiers from Tigray. Tigray is in need of weapons. It is in need of arms. It is in need of technological support. It has manpower. It is a standing army of around 20,000, but it lacks technology. It lacks modern weapons. A few months ago, I showed you a picture of Tigray fighters with an anti drone gun, which was supplied to them by Sudanese military reportedly. What is happening is that Tigray soldiers are fighting on Al Burhan side. Al Burhan is providing weapons to Tigray military through Eritrea because Sudan and Tigray are not uh, sharing a border, as Western Tigray, Humara Volga Sagade, is between Tigray controlled areas and Sudanese border. And their current Zayadul led militias and END are deployed there. So Tigray can only get weapons through Eritrea. And this is what is happening. Eritrea is supporting Al Burhan. Eritrean Navy was deployed to Port Sudan. Eritrean government is training several Sudanese armed groups on Eritrean soil. So this deal has been stuck reportedly, involving three parties: Eritrea, Sudan's Al Burhan, and Tigray's military TPL. The Army 70 fighters, Tigray's Army 70 fighters in Sudan, they are fighting on Al Burhan side. More Tigray fighters could also be sent from Tigray through Eritrea to Sudan if Al Burhan needs. But in return, Al Burhan will have to provide weapons to the Tigray side, mostly small arms. Eritrea, part of the deal, Eritrea wants to arm Tigray fighters. Eritrea wants to use Tigray forces against PMRB. PMRB's military, ISAS wants TPLF to march towards Addis Ababa. TPLF, Tigray military, needs to be armed. Eritrea is not in a position to provide weapons to Tigray forces. It would like to enhance its own military capabilities. Eritrea played a role in negotiating this deal between Tigray military and Al Burhan government. All the weapons coming through Eritrea, and some could be used by Eritrean government too. For free, Eritrean government could use some shipments of these weapons for its forces too. So this dangerous game is being played in the Horn of Africa now. Abiy is also playing dangerous games. Everyone is playing dangerous games. Abiy backing Tigray Peace Force fighters. Abiy backing Eritrean opposition groups. Abiy trying to build a united Eritrean armed opposition front on Ethiopian soil. Eritrea training, arming opposition, Ethiopian Afar fighters group. Eritrea backing, training Fano fighters. Eritrea backing, training Tigray fighters. Eritrea could start training Tigray fighters on its soil too. All that combined points towards the volatility and unpredictability of security situation in the Horn of Africa, in Ethiopia, and around Ethiopia. What is needed is a comprehensive dialogue involving not just one or two parties, but several parties in the region to de escalate the situation and to work towards peace. Let's see. Thanks for watching.